Out of nowhere, a mysterious snippet titled Iceman started making rounds online, and within hours, it sent fans, critics, and even casual listeners into a frenzy. You've got one of the most powerful artists of his generation, a man who built a career out of controlling his own image, suddenly watching that control slip away because of a song that wasn't even meant to see the light of day. And here's the twist. Instead of people hyping the leak as some long-lost anthem, the reaction was the opposite. Fans weren't celebrating Drake's bars. They were dissecting every line, questioning his motives, and debating whether this leak actually made him look worse. The internet loves spectacle, but it loves vulnerability even more. And this was both rolled into one messy moment. Before we go further, do well to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're new. It really helps a lot. So what exactly is Iceman? From what's known, it's an unreleased Drake record that somehow surfaced through a private Discord group before leaking onto social media. The track allegedly features him delivering sharp-edged bars aimed at unnamed rivals, though fans quickly connected dots, suspecting subtle nods toward Rocky and maybe even Kendrick Lamar. Sonically, it's classic Drake. Atmospheric production, melodic bridges, and that half-rap, half-sing delivery that made him famous. But lyrically, it's darker, defensive, almost haunted, like someone trying to prove they still have their edge, but can't quite hide the fatigue behind the words. Whether or not those jabs were intentional, the audience made up its mind fast. Instead of seeing a confident artist flexing, many heard a man trying too hard to sound unbothered. And that mismatch between message and tone became the real story. When Iceman hit Twitter and TikTok, it spread like wildfire. Reaction videos popped up within hours. Fan pages reposted snippets. Meme accounts went to work, looping particular lyrics and pairing them with photos or clips that exaggerated the tension. And that's the thing about leaks. They strip away the artist's control. There's no rollout, no PR filter, no official context. Once it's out, the crowd decides what it means. For Drake, that meant seeing his bars turned into punchlines and think pieces overnight. One side of the internet insisted he was still in his bag, while the other claimed this was the clearest evidence yet that he'd lost touch with what made his early music so magnetic. The memes told the truth no press release could. People weren't buying the bravado anymore. Scroll through the comments and you'll see it instantly. Two Drakes, two fan bases. On one hand, diehard supporters defending every lyric, saying the leak only proved how prolific he is, and that people would always twist his art into controversy. On the other, a louder, more restless crowd calling it another empty flex, arguing that Drake sounds less like the cool, composed hitmaker of old and more like someone trying to relive past glories. That divide isn't just about one song. It's symbolic of where Drake sits culturally right now. The fans who grew up with him are older. The new generation has different heroes. And leaks like Iceman remind everyone that even the biggest names can feel the pressure to stay relevant in a shifting landscape. Leaks aren't new in hip-hop. They're practically part of the mythology. From unfinished demos to scrapped diss tracks, some have even become classics after their release. But what separates a legend from a misstep is timing and tone. When an unreleased song drops without an artist's permission, it's like opening a diary mid-sentence. You're seeing thoughts that weren't meant to be final. And that's exactly what Iceman feels like, an unfinished thought from Drake at a moment of creative turbulence. Had he released it himself, maybe it could have been reframed as a teaser, a flex, or even a comeback moment. But a leak removes that narrative control. Suddenly, people aren't asking what the song means. They're asking why it exists at all. That's where the damage is done. More than anything, Iceman reveals where Drake's mindset might be. Beneath the swagger, there's a sense of isolation, the tone of someone aware that every move he makes will be scrutinized. He's no longer just the chart topper or the meme generator. He's an artist caught in a paradox. The public wants authenticity, but punishes vulnerability. They demand confidence, but call it arrogance. In that light, the leak isn't just an embarrassment, it's a mirror. It shows the tension between Drake the brand and Drake the person. You can hear it in the writing. The barbs feel reactive, the flex is a bit forced. Not because he's lost talent, but because he's stuck in the impossible space between self-awareness and self-defense. Every major artist eventually faces a moment like this, when the internet turns a private creative experiment into public entertainment. For Drake, it's happening at a time when narratives around him are already shifting. So Iceman becomes more than a leak. It becomes a cultural Rorschach test. People see what they want to see. Some see proof of decline, others see resilience. Some hear insecurity, others hear hunger. But either way, it keeps his name in the headlines. And maybe that's the irony. Even in unintended chaos, Drake still commands the conversation. The man can drop an unfinished file and dominate timelines for days. That's both a testament to his power and a reminder of how fragile that power can feel. In the end, Iceman might not define Drake's career, but it captures something deeper about fame in 2025. Control is an illusion. No matter how curated an artist's image is, the audience always has the final say. And when the crowd senses fear or ego or confusion behind the art, it reacts instantly. Maybe that's the real story here. The leak didn't just expose a song, it exposed a mood. A moment in time when one of music's biggest names reminded the world that even he isn't immune to the chaos of perception. For now, Iceman exists as both warning and spectacle. The sound of an empire reminding itself what it costs to stay on top. I want to know what you think. Do you think Iceman hurt or helped Drake's legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video and subscribe. And as always, stay active.